Hello, my name is Tara Ferrigno, and I'm the Coordinator of Communication for Somerset Hills Learning Institute. I was inspired to start my career in autism treatment when my nephew was diagnosed with autism. I had been working in the city in marketing for the Brit-Allcroft company when my nephew was diagnosed. And when we heard the word autism, we really just didn't know anything about it. Our only point of reference was that which we saw depicted on the Rain Man movie. And we really needed to know how to help. So I started doing some research, and I found out that the only proven effective way to be helpful to Joseph was to treat him using principles derived from the science of applied behavior analysis. And that's a mouthful. So I needed to learn more about what that was. So I decided to leave the city for a short amount of time so that I could get a teaching degree. I came back into New Jersey, took the praxis exam, and got my teaching certificate. From there, I was hired at the Somerset Hills Learning Institute, again, just to learn more about how to help my nephew. It was supposed to be a short stop-off, and 14 years later, I'm still with the Institute. The obstacles that I had to overcome in attaining my career goals had to do with socioeconomic standing. Growing up, we did not have lots of money, so I worked throughout college in order to afford my tuition. That said, I was not able to do internships. I didn't know people that could help me get a foot in the door at major companies. So those kinds of things were the obstacles that I had to overcome. In the long run, I look at that as a good thing. I was able to accomplish many, many things and grow as a person on my own, which I'm very grateful for. If I could go back in time to the beginning of my career and give myself one piece of advice, it would be to not spend any time focused on making money. And I know that sounds silly, everybody has to make money, but I think that the focus should be on doing that about which you're passionate. When I started in my career, I was working in Manhattan. I was working in marketing, and while I liked the idea of doing that, and I certainly liked the paycheck, of course, I won't lie, I really dreaded going to work. I counted down the days to the weekend. Vacations were marked on my calendar months and months ahead of time. When I began to follow my passion for helping others, for really making meaningful differences in other people's lives, specifically in the lives of people with autism, I really found true happiness in my career. And when I morphed from teaching staff into public relations and communication staff here at the Institute, I really really hit my stride, because I was able to use all of the skills that I learned in my undergraduate degree, which was public relations, in this field here, while still knowing that each day I come here, I'm helping make the life of someone with autism better. So the combination of, my two passions now have culminated into true happiness. So I think, the bottom line is, the advice that I'd give myself is follow your passion. The things that I'm most proud of in my career, there's many things. I'm lucky to work at an organization where each day I come in and I know that I'm making a meaningful difference in someone else's life. The early portion of my career, when I was still teaching, one of my most proud moments had to do with teaching a child how to eat ice cream. And to anybody who knows any child anywhere knows that that's almost an instinctual skill, is knowing how to eat ice cream. Unfortunately for people with autism, many times it's not. This particular child had very, very restricted eating repertoire, and ice cream was so non-preferred. And what that did for that person's family is it really restricted where they were able to go. Getting ice cream during the summertime as a family, that's something that all of us have memories of, and we wanted to allow this family to have those same memories. We worked tirelessly, step by step, about teaching this child to eat ice cream. And, on day one, the saga that this looked like about teaching this child to eat ice cream, it was just horrifying. And as a mother now, it was just really heartbreaking. By the end of this teaching interaction, months later, the child was actually choosing ice cream as their favorite treat. So that was something that I was extremely proud of. Growing up, my female role models were plentiful. I was surrounded by many, many strong women. My mother being the first. She and my father divorced when I was very, very young. So she juggled having a career and raising a child. And at no point did I ever feel as if I was second to anything, which now as a mother myself, I know how difficult that must have been and how challenging, but she made it look effortless. So I'm very grateful to her for that. My grandmother raised a family of 3. My grandfather suffered terrible from diabetes and had to lose both legs. She each day brought herself to work, walked herself to work, back and forth, both ways, the night shift. Never complained a second about it and supported her family because that was the role that she needed to play as a mother. Female role models in my life now are many, and they are comprised of the mothers of the students with autism here at the Institute. Each and every day, I admire them more and more. I continue to be more than impressed with all that they do for their children, for the school. I'm lucky enough to be the mother of a typically developing child, and I look at the life of my sister-in-law and the life of the mothers and fathers of the students here, and I continue to be in awe of all that they do. The work that they do for the child, there is no sitting down. There is no relaxing. Every moment is a teaching moment. And they embrace that, and they don't complain. And they do that which is best for their child, and they are the teachers that their kids need them to be. And it's so impressive, and I can't say enough about how inspired I am by them every day. What people can do in their daily lives to counteract the sexism that pervades mainstream society really, I think, stems from your role as a parent. I think it's one of the most important roles, if not the most important role there is that of a parent. I think that we need to teach our daughters to be confident, and to teach our sons to be encouraging. It's very interesting to me because I was raised in a family where my parents were divorced. My mother, I lived primarily with my mother. We really didn't focus on the idea that women were treated any differently than men. And my father and my stepfather and everyone on down the line, it just never was a focus. It never was. My father was a boxer and, a big tough old Irish guy. And, he didn't treat me any differently than he later treated my brother. There was never any indication of, well, you're a girl and you can't do that. It was more like, go outside and help me carry in the groceries, kid, because I was another body. So I think that if we just kind of put blinders on to the idea that there are differences in gender and teach our children to do the same, I think that we'll end up in a good place and in a place where there's no sexism. The balance between work and home life has been made very easy for me, because I have a wonderful partner. My husband, is a fantastic, partner in life. He, and I split every role there is to split, that of, spouse, CEO of the household, parent. We are a wonderful team. So that's made it very easy. Personally, what I do to balance those things, work and home life, compartmentalize. When I'm at work, I'm at work. And when I'm home, I'm present and I'm home. And that's probably the best advice that I could give anybody is really, take those times and separate the two things. I think it's so important for all women to really think about what field it is they want to pursue. And when I say that, I mean they should really think about where is their passion? Where are they excited? And that should really just drive their decision making about which field they'd like to be a part of. If they're passionate about children, if they're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people who are needing more help than others, then this is a wonderful field for them. I think one of the first steps involved in coming into this field of autism treatment is to really study the science of applied behavior analysis, understands the cause and effects of behavior and how to change it, the relationship that behavior has with the environment. And if it's something that you can geek out to, then I think it's great. Then I think that's a good choice for you to come and learn more. I think that patience is a requirement of the job. I think that understanding that the learner is always going to be right is another requirement. There's no one who can't learn. There's simply, different ways to teach.